Hello everyone. I would like to talk about the solution of quiz number 1. Okay, I'm going to talk about it step by step. Okay, I'll post on the Canvas so you can watch it. Okay, let's get it started. Okay, this is a math 22. Okay, quiz number 1. Solutions. Okay, so problem number 1. X, capital X, has 2 elements. Say x1, x2. And then y has only one element, just a y, neither y. And then part A, we want to find the x cross parenthesis y cross y. So first of all, we find a y cross y. So this is equal to, okay, y comma y. Okay, so this is a y cross y. And then we say we want to find the x cross parenthesis y cross y. Okay, so this is equal to, okay, so here is x1 as the first component. Second component is y comma y in the parentheses. Okay, that's like that. And then x2 comma parenthesis y parenthesis. Okay, so that's the set. Okay, now part B. Part B. Okay, remember we want to say from x cross y to x. Okay, first of all, let's say 2 functions. Okay, 2 functions. We say functions are relation. Relation is relation from A to B is a subset of A cross B. Now here A is x cross y, B is x. So here we say, well, function. Okay, you need to know the criteria of a function. So first of all, x cross y, then we have 2 elements, x1, y. Okay, and then this one, well, map to x1. That's one element. Okay, and then x2, y map to, I can use x1 again, like a constant function. Okay, so this is one function. Another function is, well, you can use the same idea. So here x1, y, x1. Well, you can use the x1 or x2. So here, if I use the x1, and then, so here is the x2, y, then x2. The first one is a constant function. Second one is a not constant function. Okay, so every element in x cross y must have an image. Okay, and different element, okay, or can map to same image, but one image can only correspond to one input. Okay, so that's two functions, and then we say we said two non-function relations. Well, there are more functions. Here, just ask to give 2 examples, okay? Relations, okay? We say, well, here we have many relations, but if you make a first relation, just put it, say, x1, y, x1. Okay, that's a relation. It's a subset of x cross y parenthesis cross x. That's a subset. Okay, another one is say here we say x2 y, and then how about x2? That's a relation. Yeah, I think it's here it should have a parenthesis. That's a relation. So just 2 relations. Okay, there are many relations. Okay, but we only ask you write 2. Okay, so that's the second. That's the first problem. Second problem. Okay, so part A. We ask you use truth table to show 2 statements are equivalent. So here we say, well, P, Q, not P, and then P implies Q, and not P or Q. Okay, so that's like this. So here we say, well, true, false. Now this is a true, okay, so this is a true, and then true, false. This is a false. Now true, false, so this must be false. True, false, and then not P, Q both are false, so this is false. Now it's a false, true. So this is a true. Well, this is a true by default. Now this is a true. Okay, because Q is a true. Finally, we have false, false. So this is a true. This again true by default. This is a true. Okay, because not P is a true. So this is true. Now we say you need to write a sentence or just do as simple as possible. We said those 2 columns are identical. Okay, identical. Because they're identical, the truth values are identical. Therefore, we say P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q. So it's like that. Okay. Part B, we ask part B, we ask to show the validity of elimination. Well, elimination we have two parts. You only need to show one because the equivalent, because you can P or Q is same as Q or P. Okay, so you don't have to show both. Elimination. Okay. Well, you just pick one of them, and then, so for example, I'm going to pick this to say here P or Q, not P, therefore Q. Or if you say not Q, therefore P. So that's another one. You don't need to show both. Now, when we show that, we say, well, here we say P, Q, okay, so we say P or Q, not P, Q. Well, it's like a repeat. The reason we repeat is to say here, those two are premises, okay? And this last one is conclusion, okay? Now, if I use a truth table, okay, so here is the true, yeah, let me put it this, so true, true. So this is a true, this is false. Now, if one of the premises is false, we don't have to continue, okay? We don't have to continue. Now, you see here is a true, false, and then this is a true, this is a false, okay? Then we say false, true. Now, this is a true, this is a true, and then, of course, this is a true, okay? Now, say false, false. Of course, this is a false, okay? Now, you see, if I put it this star here, okay, we say they only critical role, only critical role. So that's this one. Well, when we say critical role, means that all the premises are true. That's critical role. And then we said this one has true. When we say truth, conclusion. Truth, conclusion. Okay. Therefore, we say the argument, or you say argument form. Argument is, or you say the argument elimination. How about I write this? Elimination. Elimination is valid. So that's the proof. Okay, so this is a problem number 2. Now, problem number 3. Problem number 3, well, we give a statement. I think the statement is for any integer n, if it is divisible by 6, then n is divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. That's the original statement. Now we ask you to write the negation. So I'm not going to write the original statement. Negation. Okay. Negation, so we say because for any integer, the negation is there is, there exists. There is an integer n. Okay. If P then Q is P and not Q. Okay, the negation. So we say n is divisible by 6 and, okay, n is n, well, n. N is not divisible by 2 or by 3, or not divisible by 3. So we simply write it like this. So it's a negation. And then contrapositive. Contrapositive. Contrapositive, we say, well, for any for any integer n. Then we say if n is not divisible by 2 or by 3, okay, because the negation of and is or, so here we should say use and. If it's not divisible by 2 or by 3, then we say n is not divisible by 6. Okay, that's called contrapositive. Now, converse, again, we say for any integer n, we say if n is divisible by 2 and by 3, then n is divisible by 6. So that's converse. And then finally, inverse. Okay, inverse. Again, we say for any integer n, if n is not divisible by 6, then and this is too bad. What am I doing? Then n is not divisible by 2 or by 3. Okay, so that's the 4 statements. Okay, last problem, problem number 4. Okay, we say x is a geometric figure, and then we say S of x means x is a square. R of x means x is a rectangle. Okay, so that's the problem definition of a Sx, Rx. Now we ask you write the following 2 statements. Use the symbol and the quantifier. We say all the square are rectangle. So that's part A. All the square are rectangle. So that means we say for any. You can write the word or use a notation. We say for any x, okay, Sx, which means x is a square, implies Rx, which means x is a rectangle. So just simply write like that. Okay. Then part B we say some rectangle or there are non-square rectangle, or some rectangle are not a square. So either way, then we say there exists x such that x is a rectangle and x is not square. Okay, we simply write it like that. Okay, so that's just write it as simple as possible. Okay, now let's look at the if I give the partial credit. Okay, so here we say this one I'm going to give 1 point, and then this give 3 points. So that's problem number 1, part A is 4 points, and then of course here we say 1 for each function and 1 for each relation. Okay, 4 for 8. So this is 8. Okay, and then here I'm going to say, well, you need to set the reason. So because those two are identical, and the conclusion, those two are equivalent, and the truth table 3 points. Okay, if you look at it, the example in your book, and homework, they indicate you need to write a sentence. Well, here I didn't write a sentence, but I point out the identical. That's okay, but you need to say something. Some people just give me the truth table without saying anything. You need to know you're proving the two statement equivalent. Okay, so here I'm going to say, well, you need to know what is the elimination, so 1 point, and then you need to know the reason why they're valid. Okay, and then the conclusion, it is valid. Okay, now this time, so I'm going to say here, well, total is 3 points. In fact, you have to indicate which ones are premises, which ones are conclusion, and a critical the critical role. Okay, so that's 6 plus 5, 11. Okay, and then of course here the fourth statement, each one 2 points. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, well here, because a given statement without simple, okay, then when we ask you write the statement, plain statement. Okay, yeah, I think I say if you want to use a symbol, you have to define your symbol, and then because even you define, if you use say P defines something and then you put it not P, okay, put it tilde P, and then that's not enough because we don't know what does it mean. So you need to write the original statement just as a given. Okay, so this is 2 points each, and then here, well, just 3 points each. 3, 3. Okay, so that's 6. So that's 14, 25, 33. Okay, total is 33 points. Okay, so that's okay, so that's the solution of the quiz. Yeah, please watch it carefully, and then I will say if I hope everybody did fine. If you for some reason didn't do well, but when you watch the video, if you understand everything, so that means you should be able to do better next time. Just prepare better. But I have to say, if you watch the video and then you still don't understand what I'm talking about, that means probably you haven't spent enough time on study yet. So please try to study. Yeah, I think I really hope you watch the video very carefully, patiently. each video is kind of, I put in like a 30, 20, 30, 40 minutes because I try to explain things slowly, step by step. Some people may not be like it, and they like it fast, but I think more people like it slowly, okay, step by step. And then, of course, I got some email say, can I just read the book? Okay. Well, I think that's the way you learn. And then if you think you read the book, you can understand perfectly, that's fine. But the video, I really think that's help you understand it better, and then not spend not much time on reading book, okay? Or you read the book, watch the video. That's the 2 times same material. I think that's math need a lot of repetition. So please have some patience, okay? Again, you need to do the homework problem. Okay, even though I don't collect the homework, it will show on the quiz, on the exam. If you didn't do well, and then if you didn't do much homework, then you need to consider that's expected. So please do the problem. If you have a question, let me know. Okay, I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.